2016 be adopted. And so move.
Senator Anduba.
Mr. President, most distinguished colleagues, my name is Senator Anduba, representing Anambra South Senatorial Zone. Mr. President, I second that the votes and proceedings of Thursday, 14 July 2016, I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that the votes and proceedings of Thursday, 14 July 2016 be hereby approved, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. The votes and proceedings of Thursday, 14 July 2016 is hereby approved. Announcements. Letter from Mr. President. Dear distinguished Senate President, submission of budgets of agencies and corporations under the Fiscal Responsibility Act 2007. Further to the provisions of the Fiscal Responsibility Act 2007, which provides that the budget of agencies listed in the Act be collated and forwarded to the National Assembly for consideration, I forward herewith the 2016 budget proposals of the underlisted agencies for your consideration and passage, namely Bureau of Public Enterprises, National Agencies for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, Nigerian Airspace Management Agency, Nigerian Shippers Council, National Maritime Authority, Raw Material Research and Development Council, National Sugar Development Council, Nigerian Postal Service, Nigerian Ports Authority, Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, Securities and Exchange Commission, Nigeria Tourism Development Corporation, National Communications Commission, National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, Nigerian Customs Service, National Broadcasting Commission, National Insurance Commission, News Agency of Nigeria, Nigerian Copyright Commission, Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation, Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, Federal Inland Revenue Service, Nigeria Immigration Service, Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, Central Bank of Nigeria, Radio Nigeria, Federal Housing Authority, Nigeria Television Authority, National Automotive Design and Development Council, Nigeria Nuclear Regulatory Authority, National Business and Technical Examination Board, Federal Mortgage Board, National Environmental Standards and Regulations Enforcement Agency, Industrial Training Fund, Corporate Affairs Commission, Standards Organization of Nigeria, Oil and Gas Free Zone Authority. Please note that in line with the provision of the Act, budget of the agencies and corporations which have been privatized or otherwise ceased to exist are not included herein. May I please pray the Senate to expeditiously consider and approve the budgets of these agencies and corporations to enable them effectively execute their mandates. Please accept, Mr. Senate President, the assurances of my highest esteem. Yours sincerely, Muhammadu Buhari. Announcement. Letter from Senator Sonio Goji. Letter of invitation. This is to invite all distinguished senators to the special program, Praise Extravagance, 8th anniversary of Christian Legislators Fellowship, holding as follows on the 20th of July, 7 a.m., Conference Room 022, Senate Building. Pastor Billy Akoni will be speaking, while Frank Edwards, a gospel artist, will be ministering in songs. It promises to be a very refreshing. Please, dear distinguished colleagues, endeavor to be there. Thanks and God bless. Senator Sonny Woodji, Coordinator. I wish to acknowledge the presence of staff and students of the Eucharistic Heart of Jesus May Model School, Kubwa, Abuja, who are in the gallery to observe Senate proceedings. I wish them a fruitful observation of the Senate proceedings. Leader of the Senate. Petitions. Yes, Senator Omar.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, my name is Senator Mao Huabunwa. Mr. President, may I rise on order 41 of the Senate rule to present this petition from the wife of late Sam Ahia on behalf of Mrs. Winifred Ahia on behalf of her husband against Nigerian Postal Service, NIPOST, and CBN for the hijack and theft of their intellectual property. So I know that this petition has no judicial inhibition. With your permission, may I tender this?
Yes, come and lay the petition. Petition refers to Committee on Ethics and Privileges. Petition back in 2 weeks. Senator Samaya, I know we have not received a lot of your reports back for a while now.
Yes, Mr. President, we have a lot of petitions, reports that have been laid, but have not been considered, and we still have more, to be laid. We just want if the business and rules include them in the other.
Okay, Chairman, Rules and Business, I need notes. We can take a bit of the reports from petitions so that we can clear the backlog. Yeah, point of order, Senator Dada, is that a petition? Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President, sir. Distinguished colleague, I have a petition from my constituency reporting about the senseless killing and shooting by the customs. The letter was written from the privacy of the community that the custom invaded the community around 1 p.m. and immediately on that particular day, chasing some smugglers from the border town into townships. In the process, they started shooting indiscriminately in the towns, and many of the people were hit by string bullets. By the time they finished their madness, a lot of people are injured. This is not the first time the custom was chasing smugglers into township. So the community are very concerned that it was necessary to place in record that members of the community has, over the past 2 years, experienced occasional, even when farmers go to farms, they should stop them on the way to their farms, search them for smuggled goods. The issue then was reported to the superior officer of the area.
Do you want to come and lay the petition? Petitions referred to Ethics and Privileges Committee report back in 2 weeks. Point of order, Senator Live.
Mr. President, my colleagues, my name is Dino Melaye, Kogi West Senatorial District. Mr. President, I draw inspiration this morning from Order 42. The matter for discussion shall, if possible, be referred to the President of the Senate before commencement of the day sitting, and the President of the Senate shall refuse to allow the claim unless he is satisfied that the matter is definite and urgent. Mr. President, my colleague, this morning I am aware that we will be having an interactive section with the CBN governor, but Mr. President, as a Democrat and a Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I have some very disturbing reasons why the Senate have not received reports from the central bank as regards their financial dealings. Mr. President, my colleagues, I want to appeal for 2 minutes to express some of these reasons why we have not been receiving reports from the CBN. Mr. President, I have here the consolidated and separate financial statement for the year ended 31st, 2015 of the Central Bank, signed by the Central Bank Governor, the Deputy Governor, and all the auditors. And from the reports of the CBN, duly signed by the Central Bank Governor, we have discovered.
You are going into the subject matter. Tell us what you want to raise. Is the debate of the.
I just want to raise that there has been a lot of non-compliance with extant rules and the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria with the CBN, and if given the opportunity, I will want to bring a substantive motion in another legislative day to buttress these anomalies.
Distinguished colleagues, as by rule, we need the leave of the Senate for him to be able to bring that down at another legislative day. So those in support that will step to another legislative day say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The ayes have it. Leader of the Senate.
Okay.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, the first business of the day is the presentation of a report of the Committee on Health on the counterfeit and fake drugs and unwholesome processed foods Miscellaneous Provision Act 2004, the Laws of Federation of Nigeria Amendment Bill 2016. Mr. President, you may wish to invite distinguished Senator Prince Dr. Larry Tejoso, Chairman of the committee, to move the motion for the Senate to receive the report.
Senator Tejoso.
Thank you, Mr. President. Distinguished colleagues, my name is Senator Larry Tejoso, Ogun Central. I rise to move that the Senate do receive the report of the Committee on Health on the counterfeit and fake drugs and unwholesome processed food, miscellaneous provisions, Act 2004 LFN, Amendment Bill 2016, SB 55.
Senator David Jang.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I'm Senator Jonah David Jang, representing Plateau North. I rise to support the motion, the presentation of the report by the Chairman of Health. I so support.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that the Senate do receive the report of the Committee on Health on the counterfeit and fake drugs and Unwholesome Processed Food Miscellaneous Provision Act 2004 LFN Amendment Bill 2016 SB 55, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Senator, you should come and lay the report, please. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, the second business of the day is still a presentation of the report of the Committee on Foreign Affairs on the alleged irregularities and lopsidedness of the list of 47 ambassadorial nominees. Mr. President, you may wish to invite distinguished Senator Alaja Monsurat Sumonu, Chairman of the committee, to move the motion for the Senate to receive the report.
Senator Monsurat Sumonu, your central.
Mr. President, my name is Senator Monsurat Sumonu, representing Oyo Central Senatorial District and Chairman, Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs. Hereby, I want to lay that the Senate do receive the report of the Committee on Foreign Affairs on the alleged irregularities and lopsidedness of the list of 47 career ambassadorial nominees. I hereby move.
Senator Samayahu.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, my name is Senator Sam Anyanwu. I represent Imo East, Imo State. I rise to second the motion that the Senate do receive the report of the Committee on Foreign Affairs on the alleged irregularities and lopsidedness of the list of 47 career ambassadorial nominees. I still second.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that the Senate do receive the report of the Committee on Foreign Affairs on the alleged irregularities and lopsidedness of the list of 47 career ambassadorial nominees, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Senator Monsurat Sumonu, come and lay the report, please. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, the first order of the day is the briefing by the Governor of the Central Bank on the monetary and fiscal policies adopted to salvage the current economic situation in the country. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, you will recall that the Senate resolved to invite the Governor of the Central Bank to appear before the Senate today to brief this distinguished Senate on the monetary and fiscal policies adopted to salvage the current economic situation. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, in order to carry out this exercise and in conformity with our Standing Order 17, that is floor privileges, I will move two motions. One, I move that the Senate do resolve into a closed session in order to receive the Governor of the Central Bank. And two, I move that this Senate do admit the Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria and the Special Advisor to the President on the National Assembly matters into the Senate chambers. I so move.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I rise to second the two motions moved by the Senate leader. One, that the Senate do resolve into a committee of whole to invite the Governor of Central Bank to appear before us. And secondly, that the Senate do admit the Governor of Central Bank into the red chambers. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, those in favor that the Senate resolves into a closed session, say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. Nay. The ayes have it. Distinguished colleagues, there are two motions. Distinguished colleagues, there are two motions. There's also a motion. Those in favor that we do admit the Governor of Central Bank, Advisor National Assembly into the chamber, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.